When coming up for video ideas, I actually Googled what the biggest trending search topic is on Google. And that is, are native plants better? Or more specifically, the native plants are better. So today's video, we're going to actually look at whether or not native plants are better, or if the biodiversity of today's world can actually benefit us in some way, shape, or form. Now, the ways that the internet says that native plants are better can include things like better for wildlife, better for pollinators, but better for the soil biodiversity, the soil structure. But literally, the list is endless. And we're going to go through every single tip and trick the internet said for why, from a science-based perspective, because my science brain immediately upon seeing that thought to itself, better for what? Now, if you don't know who I am, my name's Ashley. I have a bachelor's of science in soil science. I like to take that science and apply it to all things plants. And this sort of stuff is right up my alley because I did an incredible amount of ecology courses, soil ecology courses, where I actually looked at a lot of native environments and the plants within them and how they supported the ecosystem. So this topic actually quite heavily interests me, particularly because I do have some perennial beds that I do truly struggle with because not a lot other than stuff from outside of our native region does anything in. So let's look at the first one, and that is whether or not native plants are better for pollinators. So I think the best way to actually look at this is through the lens of coevolution. So coevolution, very simply put, is the reality that the pollinators native to your area have evolved alongside the native plants. This means they prefer or they know their nectar. This means they prefer or they know they are flowering or there are times in which the pollen is available. You get the idea. The other thing here is that a lot of gardeners do note that they are able to get and watch oftentimes pollinators of all sorts touch every kind of plant in their garden, native or not. And arguably, it's much easier to get a constant bloom cycle in your garden environment if you know what you're doing and you're able to kind of time your plants and when they decide to turn up. So, do native plants win in the pollinator department? Yes, but not always. And it's not very specific in the sense that it is an absolute reality of the situation. You can get them to use all sorts of plants. And I would actually argue from the standpoint of trying to call in very specific kind of pollinator plant species, I have like a whole hummingbird section this year. And yes, there are lots of native plants that hummingbirds would go for, but these are very specifically designed for hummingbirds and they hands down go absolutely crazy for them. And I have them kind of all in one area. I couldn't do that with a native garden. And maybe I could be completely wrong, but in this case, the variety is very nice. And so I do enjoy that. So I don't know. In my opinion, pollinators, they can benefit from all sorts. Next up is whether or not it's better for biodiversity. So the reality here is that normally with ornamental plants, the amount of biodiversity you can get is absolutely enormous. However, the microbes, the macrofauna, the microfauna, everything that interacts with that plant is not native to this area, and therefore ornamentals don't necessarily increase the biodiversity, and they can't necessarily make that same connection that the native plants can with the biodiversity that is currently there if we're looking from the perspective of macro and microfauna, not so much the biodiversity of what's above ground. So do native plants win in the case of biodiversity? Yes, they usually do for the sole purpose of what's already in that environment and the fact that ornamentals don't necessarily bring those into the environment. They maybe do it very set circumstances and they maybe do temporarily while that plant is in position, but I can almost guarantee you that's not the case long term. Once that winter hits, the ornamental biodiversity that came with it is not in existence any longer. Next up is whether or not it's better for vegetable production. Now, here's the reality of the situation. The tomato does not care if you have a prairie prickly cactus planted beside it. That actually doesn't give a shit whatsoever. And so the idea that native plants are going to somehow increase the production of a plant is pretty low, particularly because pollinators are not biased in what they choose to actually go for. And therefore, if you have any sort of flowering plant in and around your tomatoes, you're going to get that result regardless of where that flowering plant came from. So that one I will say is debunked and doesn't do much of anything. If anything, Plants that just have a lot of blooms are what would benefit in that case. Next up is whether or not plants that are native are better to deal with local drought or local water soil conditions. Now, this includes a little bit of nuance. Yes, they do in their native environment. They do not do better in environments that aren't native, meaning your garden is not native. There are a lot of factors that go into a soil system. If we're talking about an untouched soil system compared to a garden environment, those are two entirely different things. Even if you are no dig, those are two entirely different things. It's just the reality of the environment that we're in. Agriculture has changed it. The backfilling of your home has changed it. You can go no dig, but you are never going to make up what made the Great Plains thousands of years ago. It's just impossible. Your no dig garden will never hit that sort of a limit. And therefore, under very compacted soils, lack of oxygen, all these very specific scenarios, these plants actually do not do well. They do much worse, which is why things like tillage radishes, for example, are great because they till the soil that is unnaturally compact and that native plants just simply cannot deal with. So the reality here is that there's nuance to this. Yes, they will do better with our winters, but not necessarily soil conditions that you're exposing them to. I'm cooking right now. I could be naked if I wanted to. Probably get more YouTube views if I did that, but I digress. Next topic is that they are better against disease. So not necessarily. All the disease that is present in your environment is present because the host plant exists initially. So what this means is that a lot of diseases, insects, fungi, bacteria that infects local plants is there because it's been there forever. And that's where ornamentals can actually give you a leg up. Ornamentals don't act as the host plant for a lot of these issues, and therefore, because of that, will not attract those insects. So that's maybe where ornamentals do have a leg up in regards to the native plants, particularly if you have a very native plant problem that seems to persist. Next up is the idea of the invasive problem. So we've got a number of different plants out there, morning glories, mint, things like that. Things that may not necessarily be native that do in turn eventually become invasive, meaning they take over the environment as a whole. And this is a very real reality for some plants. But non-native does not necessarily immediately correlate with the idea that it is invasive. Tomatoes, they're not invasive. Petunias are not invasive. So you can actually coincide those two. So I guess my point here isn't so much that native plants are more superior in this aspect, but more so the conversation behind native are better because they won't become invasive is something we should maybe put some nuance to. There are a lot of plants out there that don't make gardeners bad people because they just simply do not invade. It's impossible for them to do so. However, there are lots of plants out there that do fit that bill, and you need to be careful and not do that. So just keep that in your back of your head. I guess, are native plants more superior in the sense that they're non-invasive? Maybe, but I mean, there's a lot of fescue out there that will absolutely take out your garden in its entirety without you even blinking. And so as a gardener, you may think that is incredibly invasive until you don't like it. And that is incredibly also native. So it's in the eye of the beholder. So when it comes to this whole debate of whether or not native plants are better than non-native plants and what you should choose to grow versus not grow, I think the question you need to ask is actually what best suits my situation and what I want to do. If your goal is to lower the grocery bill, it's very likely that native plants are not going to help you out. You want to go for those non-native things like tomatoes and cucumbers and squash, etc., and so forth. But if you want a really low maintenance, don't touch type sunny rock bed area, then yeah, go for native sedums. Go for prickly pear cactuses that are native to Saskatchewan, that sort of thing. If you've got an incredibly bare patch of soil that is in an incredibly shady space that no native perennials want to grow in, I maybe or may not be speaking from experience. Go for ornamentals that do okay in our environment and love to thrive and survive in shade. Hostas as a great example. So the question isn't native versus non-native. The question is really truly what best suits my goals as a gardener and what I'm trying to accomplish. With that being said, Geek Crew, I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.